with the Chargers moving from San Diego to LA, what is the feel with the San Diego fan base and the LA fan base? Are they sharing a team? I'm automatically assuming that it's mostly the San Diego fan base that's still supporting the Chargers and driving north on Sundays for the Chargers game. How is LA handling the two new teams? And what is the situation with the Chargers and the fan base?
So I'll start by saying that the Chargers leaving San Diego was the worst business decision that the Spanos family could actually make. They really thought that it was going to be great for them, but it's not really playing out like that. So the fan base is really split at this point. You got San Diego fans, diehard, team should have never left, that refuse to like them at this point because they are in LA. And then you have some that are like, hey, they're the Chargers. I've been a Charger fan all my life. Can't switch up now. I'm a Charger fan regardless of where they go. If you look at what they're doing as far as tickets, every game they have, there's more of the visiting team's fans there than there are the Charger fans there.
Wow, and they're not even playing in a full-grown stadium.
No, they're not in a full-grown stadium. They're in a 30,000-seat stadium, which, you know, their selling point is every seat in the house is a good seat, which it is, but at the same time, you're paying a lot of money for these seats, and you're paying a lot of money for a team that you don't know, you probably didn't grow up liking, and now they've just kind of inserted themselves into the city, and they're asking for love and support. So it's pretty tough right now. Okay,
so like I said, I would assume that all of the San Diego fans would still be there because it's a short drive. It's bordering on the same media market.
They probably
but
upset.
They're
mad. I wouldn't go.
It could be worse.
They're mad. And when you say bordering the same media market, LA is the number 2 market in the nation. San Diego is somewhere around 20-ish. Mm-hmm. So it's close, but it's not. And the dynamic here in California is that you just have some people in San Diego, grew up in San Diego, born and raised in San Diego. They don't like Los Angeles.
Yeah, I get
and
that.
And so they just won't support them. You know, this hour-and-a-half drive, they won't make the drive. They're not going to do it. They don't like them. I mean, and then there's the ones that do. But it's a real funny dynamic here with that, because either you really die hard ride with them, or you let them go. You're not watching football as much. You're trying to find another team, and it's real serious because you got Charger fans that are like, you're supposed to be a Charger fan, and you got the other Charger fans who were die hard ride for them all day. It's like they never should have left San Diego. I can't rock them.
So, how do the Raiders come into this mix? Because the LA fan base, I'm assuming, heavy Raider presence. And now the Rams and the Chargers are all looking for a piece. Are the Raiders still holding a significant share of the fan base?
The Raiders own Southern California fan base.
Okay.
I mean, I would even venture to go, even when the Chargers were in San Diego, because while I did live down there, I'd go to a lot of games. And, you know, throughout the 90s, there would be more Raider fans than Charger fans at Qualcomm. That changed a little bit when they got LaDainian and Drew Brees for a little bit. And, you know, they were actually doing pretty good. And even when Phillip Rivers came, they were doing pretty good. So it kind of evened out. Charger fans weren't selling their tickets to Raider fans for the highest dollar at that point. But the Raiders own Southern California. And that, again, the dynamics. You have the Raiders that came down here. They brought a mystique with them. They came from Oakland. It was real tough, real rugged. When they got to Los Angeles, they grabbed another fan base, which had a gang component to it. So a lot of the fans down here rock Raider gear, and that was like their gang colors, you know. And so even when they left and went back to Oakland, they still were Raider fans because, you know, again, they can't switch up. So the Raider fans own Southern California. The Rams, coming back that first year where they weren't doing too well, they had Jeff Fisher at the coach. You know, they were losing. again, even like yesterday, you have more Green Bay Packer fans there at the stadium than Ram fans. But because the Rams are actually winning now, and arguably the best team in the NFL at this point,
they are the best.
I mean, Casey, I talked to him about it. New Orleans is going to see him this week.
True.
But having an undefeated record at this point, I would give them best team in NFL at this point because they're winning. They've turned the casual fan that the Chargers were trying to get into Ram fans. So their fan base, while they had a solid fan base here, even when they went to St. Louis and got them to ultimately come back, they have a solid fan base, and they're gaining at this point. But again, Raiders own it.
Wow, and the Raiders haven't been there for years.
But what happens with that fan base when they move out to Vegas?
Oh, that's perfect.
It's perfect.
The Vegas location is the perfect location because the Raiders are America's team. So now this is what's going to happen. You're going to get North Cal going to Vegas for home games from Oakland. You're going to get South Cal running to Vegas for home games. So it's going to be a little triangle that leads to Vegas every weekend, not to mention all of the out-of-town fans that are just going to hop in to go to Vegas because the Jets are going to be playing the Raiders, so I'm going to Vegas.
Okay.
So
Raiders
are set.
I was wondering if they'd be upset about the fact they're leaving
Raiders
town.
have the whole triangle.
Okay. So they're good.
They're good because in the Bay Area, 49ers are going to hold that down, but all the Raiders fans are just going to be going to Vegas every other week.
Well, until Gruden leaves, nobody's going to Vegas, so they got
the Raiders fans are heavy. The Raiders fans are strong. They'll be there when they lose. Yeah. That's America's team 3.
Yeah.
Cowboys, Steelers, Raiders. What you think, Tim? Am I making sense?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you're going to have people that are going to plan trips around going to Vegas because their team is going to be playing the Raiders in Vegas. Like, you can bet on them, you can gamble. Like, you can walk out to MGM, turn the corner, and be at the stadium, and you've just placed a bet on your team against the Raiders. And so it is the trifecta.
And it's easier.
That's why they win.
It's easier to get a hall pass when you're going to see the Raiders.
Right.
Hey, I'm going to watch the game.
Only thing you got to worry about, you're going to have some empty seats because people just going to be lost from the night before.
That's true.
On some what's the name of that movie where the dude got lost?
Oh, you talking about Hangover?
Hangover, right? People going to be on that Hangover.
That's when they count on the Vegas locals.
Yeah.
To fill those seats up.
Right.
Like,
they'll be there.
We brought a team here for you, y'all
they're going to be all on it.
These personal seat licenses, and y'all got to come support the Raiders.
Between the Rams, the Chargers, and the Raiders got the best deal out of this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, the Rams Stadium is coming together nicely. They're going to start hosting Super Bowls. Vegas will too, of course. Anytime you get a new stadium, they're going to give you at least one. But to be able to come to California and run a Super Bowl game, it's nothing like it because the weather for 98% of the time is going to be the way you want it. Not going to be a cloud in the sky, no snow like there was in New York and Minnesota, and so it's perfect. It's perfect football weather at that time of the year. Early February. Who wants to play in 15 degrees outside some? Like, that's not what I want to do for the biggest game of my life.
Nah.
So, and who I really feel bad for, though, is the actual Bay Area fan. The Raiders are leaving, and while they can go to Vegas, San Francisco 49ers now play literally in San Jose. There's actually going to be no football in a 20 to 50-mile radius of Oakland or San Francisco in the next couple of years.
Wow. The new stadium that the Rams are building, that's pretty much in the middle of nowhere, no? Although I know there's a lot of development around
it. It's in the City of Champions. It's right next to the Great Western Forum where Magic and all them boys played at. So
got it. So where are the Chargers? Where's this Chargers stadium going to be built?
At the same location.
Oh, they're going to share it.
Yeah, so this is why, it wasn't necessarily the smartest business move for the Spanos is because they are actually locked into a 20-year lease agreement that they can't break with the Rams. So that stadium should be built in the next year and a half. And I want to say that they're going to be open for play in 2020, right? the Rams won't, or the Chargers won't be able to get out of their lease until 2040. And right now, their fan base will not be able to fill up a third of this new stadium. This new stadium is going to be able to seat anywhere from 70 to 85,000.
It's going to be empty. It's going to be empty for Chargers games.
Dollar tickets, baby, coming right up.
Right now, you got Charger fans in a 30-seat stadium, and you got maybe 15,000 showing up.
Right, in a soccer stadium.
Yeah, in the soccer stadium.
Well, don't let the camera show the stands. Just focus on the field.